Have you ever wondered why some homes are full of peace and love, while others feel heavy and unhappy, even when they look perfect on the outside? Carol often asked herself that question. She lived with her husband, Matthew, and their two sons. Every day she worked hard for her family. She cleaned the house, washed clothes, cooked meals, and constantly tried to improve their home. But Carol had one problem. She became angry very quickly. A forgotten sock on the floor made her shout. A dirty plate left on the table made her shout. A light left on in a bedroom made her shout. Even the smallest mistake could trigger her frustration. "Many times do I have to tell you," she would yell. "Can't anyone do things properly in this house?" Her husband Matthew usually stayed silent. The boys lowered their heads and waited for the storm to pass. Carol believed she was right. After all, she was doing everything for them. Yet something strange was happening. The more she tried to create the perfect home, the less happy everyone seemed. Matthew started accepting longer shifts at work. The boys spent more and more time at their friends' houses, often staying out until late evening, and every time they stayed away, Carol felt hurt. Do everything for them, she thought. Why do they avoid me? The house was clean. The furniture was beautiful. New decorations filled the rooms, but peace was nowhere to be found. One day, Carol's elderly mother came from another county to stay with them for several weeks. Carol was delighted. She loved her mother deeply. Her parents had spent their entire lives together and seemed genuinely happy. Carol could barely remember them arguing. At first, everyone tried to act normal. Matthew smiled. The boys behaved. Carol controlled herself. But a wise mother sees what others cannot. Within days, she noticed the tension. She saw how everyone became nervous when Carol entered a room. She noticed how Matthew carefully chose his words. She saw how the boys disappeared whenever possible. One afternoon, the house was quiet. Matthew was at work. The boys were out. Carol was washing the floor when her mother gently spoke. "Carol, may I tell you something?" Carol looked up. Of course. Her mother's voice was soft. "My dear, this house is beautiful, but it isn't peaceful." The words struck Carol's heart. She felt embarrassed. She didn't want her mother to think badly of her. For a moment she wanted to defend herself. Instead, she remained silent. Then she asked quietly, "Mom, how did you and Dad stay happy all those years?" Her mother smiled. "Secret is silence." Carol frowned. "Silence?" "Yes," her mother replied. "Not the silence of coldness, the silence that stops anger before it becomes poison." Carol listened carefully. Her mother continued. "I learned long ago that some words once spoken can never be taken back." She sat down and continued. "I decided not to shout. I decided not to blame. I decided not to use sarcasm. I decided to respect your father, especially when I was upset." Carol looked down. Her mother continued gently. "Respect is like sunlight. People grow in it. Constant criticism is like frost. People shrink from it." Carol felt tears forming in her eyes. "But what about mistakes?" she asked. "What if people leave messes everywhere? What if they forget things?" Her mother smiled. "My child, every person is fighting their own battles. Most mistakes are not acts of disrespect. They are simply human mistakes." Then she shared several lessons she had learned throughout her life. Choose peace over being right. Correct less, encourage more. Speak only words that improve the atmosphere. If something small bothers you today, ask yourself whether it will matter in a year. Before speaking, ask, is it true? Is it necessary? Is it kind? And remember this, controlling others is impossible. Controlling yourself is where true strength begins. Carol stood quietly. For the first time, she realized that she had spent years trying to clean every corner of the house while neglecting her own heart. That evening, Matthew returned home. As usual, he left his shoes slightly crooked. His jacket wasn't hung properly. Normally, Carol would have exploded. Instead, she walked toward him. She hugged him. "Happy you're home," she said. Matthew blinked in surprise, then he laughed. "Are you sick?" Carol laughed too. "No." That was all. The next day she tried again, and the day after that, and the day after that. It wasn't easy. Many times anger rose inside her like a storm. Many times she wanted to shout, but she remembered her mother's words. One evening she walked past her younger son's room. The light was on again. Normally she would have marched in and scolded him. She opened her mouth, then stopped. Quietly she turned off the light herself. And in that moment something unexpected happened. She felt a heavy stone fall from her heart. She had won a battle, not against her son, against herself. Day after day, the atmosphere changed. Matthew came home earlier. The boys spent more time with the family. Laughter slowly returned. Conversations became easier. The house felt lighter. The change puzzled everyone at first. Then they became curious, then grateful. And something remarkable happened. As Carol became kinder, the others became kinder too. Matthew started helping more. The boys became more responsible. Everyone began giving their best, not because they were afraid of criticism, but because they felt loved. Several weeks later, Carol's mother prepared to leave. Before getting into the car, she hugged her daughter, then she whispered, "I'm proud of you." Carol smiled through tears. "I still have a lot to learn." "All do," her mother replied. "Just protect the peace you've created." Months passed. The family continued growing closer. The house was still imperfect. Shoes were sometimes misplaced. Lights were sometimes left on. Mistakes still happened, but love filled the rooms. And at last, Carol understood something important. The beautiful home she had been searching for was never hidden in new furniture, decorations, or spotless floors. It was hidden in patience, in respect, in kindness, and in the words she chose not to say. Moral of the story: a peaceful home is not built with perfect walls, expensive furniture, or spotless floors. It is built with patience, respect, self-control, and love. The strongest person in a family is often not the one who speaks the loudest, but the one who knows when to remain silent. When you change yourself, you give others permission to change as well. If this story touched your heart, please like and subscribe for more inspiring stories. And if you want to change your life too, write "change" in the comments below.